Alright guys, it's nice weather we're having today, and you know, it was like I looked out earlier and it was sort of still a bit gloomy. It wasn't particularly warm or anything like that, and I thought, oh well, I'll put my new cardigan on, and then you get outside and get into the car and find it's actually probably a little bit on the warm side for a cardigan. So yeah, I'm probably going to sweat now. Never mind. So just on my way into town as usual on my Sunday morning. Just had a friend turn up who's starting to do some decorating. He's decorating our living room. The wife's gone with teal and some sort of cream. They're nice colours, but obviously I don't see them as correctly as I maybe should do, but you know. So, that is nice. It's cloudy, but it's nice. And it's warm inside the car. I mean, outside temperatures, 11 degrees. So we're into double figures. Wasn't the case on... Now then, what was it? I've done a fair few bits and pieces this last week. I was out an early morning start, a 2 AM start on... Now then, hang on, Monday was the bank holiday. It wasn't the Tuesday, we were in the workshop Tuesday, it was Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday morning, 2 AM. And that was a drive. We took the back roads actually because it saved about 60 miles I think, and we went down to Norfolk. Yeah, we were in Norwich at a place there, doing a job there, and then from there we drove across to Milton Keynes, did a job there. So absolutely loads of rabbits and owls and stuff like that on those back roads, because we went across the Humber Bridge and sort of travelled down nearer to the coastline. It's a much shorter journey than going out to the motorways, but obviously when we came back up the M1, because Milton Keynes sits pretty much at the side of the M1. M62 basically. So I think that's it now until near the middle of the year, when we'll have a couple of northern ones to do, you know, Durham, Darlington and stuff like that, and then we will also have the south coast again back down in Hastings. And then we've got these two new ones that are going to come online at some point as well, which I think have not long been done when we looked at them, so we're probably looking at sometime in the second half of this year we'll be doing those. They're in the Norwich area as well, like. So yeah, so I did that, and then what day was it? Because the weather was cold then, you know, there was some frost on the morning and what have you, but then it would be, was it Thursday or Friday? Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, because Friday I was in the workshop all day. So Thursday I went to oh god, what's it called? It's Kirkella it's called. It's sort of it's almost a suburb of the Hull Hessel area. And I just went to drop some stuff off, a carload of stuff. And on the way back, come down a lane called Dog Kennel Lane. And from there you're heading towards a village called Cherryburn, and I was about halfway down Dog Kennel Lane, and from there to Cherryburn is roughly a mile, maybe a little under, and I was about halfway down this Dog Kennel Lane and I could hear these cracks on the car, which I did get a stone chip while I was out down Norwich actually, which is a pain in the backside, but hey ho. But yeah, I was hearing these cracks and it was hailstones. So we had basically some really crappy weather starting, and all of a sudden it was hammering down, and it was snow and hail all at the same time. And in the space of a mile I was watching my temperature gauge, and the temperature dropped by 4 degrees in that 1 mile. And when I got to Cherryburton, there's some footpaths just outside the village there, and they were white over already. That's how fast it had come down. Absolutely white over with hail and snow. And then I turn away from Cherryburton towards Leconfield, and it stopped. Or more or less stopped. And it was all sort of melting because it wasn't quite cold enough for it to sort of sit there. And then I got the other side of Leconfield, nearer to back home, and it's sort of started again, but not as heavy. So yeah, the weather's really strange at the minute, really strange. And I know parts of America, I've seen some photographs going up of it snowing and what have you. So yeah, it's been really strange. But today is, I know the south coast has got it absolutely gorgeous today. Seen some footage from Mickey Tech, who's Cromer area, and Will Hawks, who's I think he's Portsmouth area, somewhere like that, somewhere down that way anyway, Portsmouth, Plymouth, wherever. So yeah, it's all looking good down there. And while we're talking about that area, it might be worth a visit to the Isle of Wight this year. They've opened a National Poo Museum. Very, yeah, and it's a mixture of animal and human feces, which a bit strange for a museum, but hey ho, whatever floats your boat, I suppose. It's one of those strange things, isn't it? It's as a kid, I mean, kids relish it, you know, kids love the whole idea of poo, you know, it's but as we get older and wiser, we start sort of trying to avoid the vile bloody disease carrying stuff, don't we? But obviously it's all treated and desiccated and what have you before it's put on show. But I suppose in some ways, yeah, it's grotesque, but it's still interesting. It's still got some highly sort of interesting features, I suppose, in a way. I think what really sort of would make people want to go and see it is the different sizes more than anything else, you know, like the amount that an elephant can turn out, or a horse, you know. Obviously that's sort of like your biggest pile in this country, something like a horse, isn't it? You know, we see it all over our bloody roads this time of the year, which much to the disgust of cyclists and car drivers who've just cleaned their cars and what have you. But fortunately, I suppose horse manure doesn't smell that bad, so, and of course it's good for your roses. Although I would prefer to see horse riders carrying a sack and a shovel, seeing as how dog walkers have to carry bags. But anyway guys, I'm going to go and get me stuff, and I will catch up with you later. I think that's the sound of summer, guys. I think we might be finally up on us, even though we've had some really strange weather lately. So, what have I done? I've got the pork in, veggies all prepped, and I've made the wife a cheesecake. And who's this coming to see me? Who's that? Fred, what do you want? You want me to play? Not happening. Oh, go on then. There you go. It's a chew, and he likes to have them thrown for him. So, yeah, I'm going to go and do a video now for the tech channel. Nice handy device, which will be sitting at the back of my desk, where it already has been actually. I've put it back in the box to show you guys it. Nice bit of kit actually. So, yeah, that'll be up on the tech channel. I don't know whether that'll go up tonight. I mean, obviously this will go up tonight. Depends on how I get on as to, you know, how soon it goes up, but it'll go up. And yeah, we've had it's been all a bit awkward lately. I've had family here again. They came home Thursday while I was at work. So, and they've just left this morning, early afternoon. So, yeah, it's all sort of slowly getting back to normal, but next weekend I'll have the grandkids again, so yeah. It's alright you looking at me like that. Look at this face, hang on. What? What do you want? Eh? You're a good lad, aren't you? Yeah. Oh, he loves that. Yes, he does. So yeah, I don't know how many of you noticed I've had this on for a while now. Was it this, the Jawbone Up 24? Yeah, it's, I don't know, I just thought I'd give it a try. The wife got it as a present. Somebody thought that they might like to track her sleep with it, because obviously this one tracks sleep as well. And for me, that's the most interesting part really, is the sleep tracking. From the walking point of view, yeah, I don't do enough steps, but it's just not for me. It's just another thing for you to keep sort of checking on, do you know what I mean? It's, you know, if you really want to get fit, drop all that crap and just get out and do it. You know, you don't need to keep putting on social media about how many steps you've done and stuff. You know, it's just not for me really, so I think it's probably going to end up just going back in the box, and you know, it'll move on probably. I don't know that the wife will want to keep it. I'm not sure that I do. It's not really my thing. So it's, you know, it gives insight and a bit of interest, I suppose, but not to any great point for me. But anyway, guys, I'm just going to go and make the wife a brew, and then I'm going to disappear and go and do this video for the tech channel. So, tea scoffed, very nice, went down okay. So that was a pork dinner, Yorkshire puddings and all the rest of it. I meant to put it in, was it last week I think? I'll put a bit of footage in here. I just came across it before. I thought I'd put it in, but I obviously didn't. Came around the corner in the dark the other night and I just caught something moving the headlights, and this is what I saw. Yeah, just what I wanted to see. Yeah. But yeah, I sort of moved it off the road because I didn't want it getting flattened, although I think I managed to, I can't remember where I'd been. I was only on a short trip and I managed to get it off the road. Then I went out again, came back and it was back on the road again. So I managed to chase it off onto my front lawn, but then the next day a frog was found flat on the road outside my house, so it was probably one of them. So hopefully it wasn't the female after she was pregnant, because obviously, you know, the frogs and toads are on the decline, aren't they, in this country. So I'm just, while I was having my tea, I was just catching up on a little bit of YouTube, you know, because we've had family here. It's all been a bit sort of too awkward for me to catch up on stuff like that. What was that? Oh, Mquan put up yeah, he did it on Snapchat and he put up a picture as well, and it was a picture of his old mask. I don't know how many of you remember the days of him in the mask. I mean, I was watching him right back then, you know, which was like right back in the beginning sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, that mask was sort of like totally synonymous with the whole thing of Mquan, you know. And then of course eventually, as he got older, he eventually came out of the mask and you know, started doing his videos without it. But yeah, he put up a picture. He'd found it. He'd been doing some clearing out, which I didn't actually realise until then, that he's actually in the UK at the minute. He's come back to see his family and what have you, so do hope he's enjoying his stay in the UK, which the weather hasn't been fantastic until it's starting to pick up now. We're starting to get the sound of summer coming along, which is nice to hear. I've got, I mean, I think I'm going to cut a bit off this tree actually. If we look there, and you can see we've got plenty of buds appearing there. But I'm going to lop a bit off that tree. Hopefully I'm going to, well, I don't know if we've still got it. We had my dad's old chainsaw kicking around for a while. I'll have to go and see if we've still got it. If so, it'll just make life a bit easier. It means I can lop it off easier. If not, it'll be a handsaw job, which I've done before with that tree, because I took some off it a few years ago. There's actually a little bit of a stump down near the bottom of it where I actually took one really low hanging bough off it because I couldn't get the mower under it. So, because when we first came here, that was just like a little dog paddling area with a fence around it actually. And there was, I think we've already had 2 trees felled in this yard. There was 2 big conifers there. So but I've got a load of scrap wood and stuff that I want to get cut up and bagged up, and I think my wife's carer will probably get some of it, and I'll just take the rest to my brother because he's fitted a log burner now. I mean, not that they'll be burning him much at the minute. So what we've been doing, couldn't get really any time to ourselves, but on yesterday, 2nd of April, my wife and I were celebrating our 28-year anniversary. 28 years, eh? God blimey. Tell you what though, guys, doesn't half fly. Noisy bugger. Tell you, time really, really flies. And the older you get, the faster it gets. Just remember that, that's wise words, guys. Cram in as much as you can while you can, because you never know what tomorrow brings. So, I mean, I've always said, like, you know, if we'd realised that the wife's disability was round the corner, financially we'd be fine. Our house would have been ours, owned outright, you know. But it's the neighbours' dogs. I don't know if ours are involved. There could be. Doesn't sound like it. Yeah, they've got a bunch of staffies around there. I mean, they always sound rough. Generally soft as muck. They'll get shouted at in a minute. But yeah, the trouble is you never know with any dog really, do you? They're all soft as muck until that one time that they decide to snap. You know, and it's like our dogs. I mean, they're only little Yorkies. They're all soft as muck. But, you know, I've seen them, I mean, especially like, it's like a sister-in-law, she's got a Yorkie as well. And he's a youngster. He's only, what is he? He'll be coming up a year old, I think. But he's just too boisterous for them. And Fred can't stand him. You know, Fred absolutely bares his teeth and the tongue comes out and everything. So, you know, I mean, he's ready to rip his bloody head off. And the only reason he actually doesn't is because he's been brought up in the environment where that's not acceptable. But he does snarl at him and lip curl at him and everything. You know, so he's capable of it. So, you know, and as far as I'm concerned, any dog is capable of causing serious injury, you know. And if that happens, then they've got to go. You know, as sad as it is, you can't hang on to a dog that's capable of doing that. Once they've done it, it becomes easier the next time. But yeah, but it's nice to get the lighter nights. I mean, what time is it now? It's 6:10, and we've still got reasonably good daylight. You know, it's well, I don't know if the sun's. It's hard to tell if it's set. It's a bit cloudy at the minute, so it's hard to tell if it's set, but it's light enough. I don't think it's actually set yet. Not sure what setting times is at the minute. Been too busy to notice. Work's picking up a bit. We had some stock come in, so we've been sort of racing on a bit, but we're still waiting for some other bits and pieces, and we've had a lot of deliveries out and about, and you know. But yeah, I've done that video. He's a little peed off actually. You'll see when I get to it, when it comes up. I had a problem with an adapter that I bought, and I think it's that that's causing it. And it's a USB to female USB, and I don't know whether it's just the iOS devices that don't like it, or whether it's going to be all things, or whether it is the adapter that's actually not working. It could be a faulty adapter I've bought, so all I can do is wait and see about that. But you know, I'll try and test it on something else, or you know, see if I can get a USB-C charging device or something to try in it. That's the only thing I can do. So I don't think there's anything else I wanted to tell you guys. You know, it's just been same old really. I do have more videos to do. I've got to start doing some reviews next, which I'll probably do them the way I did before, with the green screen behind me, and just put a generator in the green screen sort of thing. You know, they seem to go down okay, although there has been a bit of a drop in YouTube views at the minute. I don't know how many of you have noticed that yourselves, you know, but then it's that time of year, isn't it? You know, the daytime's getting longer, the sun's picking up, so people are going to be around and about a lot less. So yeah, I've got to go and do a bit of cleaning up, guys, and got some editing to do, and this to get uploaded. So I'm going to call it a day. Do take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers, guys. See you.